Chapter 17 Farewell, Mison. That night during the feast at Wanyenyekevu's home, Queen, with the entire family's help, talked all of Aboksigун's favorite dishes. Queen looked at Aboksigún as he ate, trying to get a response. Aboksigún felt the stress. This is Aunt Isabella's favorite, so it to me take. It isn't as good as hers, but it's still delicious. Aboksigún sighed as he took a big bite. Queen smiled. Yes, I know, I tried it and followed her instructions the same way she did, but it's just not as moist as hers. Queen got up to get some more milk for Aboksigún because she didn't want him to see her cry. Aboksigún knew something was wrong, Pops. Wanyenyekevu smiled. Yes, son. Aboksigún stood up and looked at everyone's face. I remembered you telling me repeatedly that a third eye view will always be better than a bird's eye view. Wanyenyekevu smiled. It is. Aboksigún continued. You and mommy are not telling me something. Wanyenyekevu cleared his throat. Well, there is something. As Queen returned with the milk and platted it on the table, Wanyenyekevu looked at Queen. Baby, please, have a seat. Wanyenyekevu turned to Aboksigún as he looked at all of his children. Sabaoth came to me and told me that I needed to send the people back home, and it was because of that many of the people back home are enlightened, but he also told me that 2 of my sons would go, but only one will return and... Well, you're the one that fit the profile. I had to remember how itame here and what I've been through to be where I am, and to know that Sabaoth's plan is the best. Everyone in the room was saddened, but Aboksigún stood up. If this is Sabaoth's will, let it be so, for if I become great in Sabaoth's name, who can be against me? Pops, you and mommy have taught all of us to be skilled warriors as well as humble servants. Let's consider this a grand occasion, not a sad one. Anaya turned on some music. Well, let's get this party started then. Aboksigún's brothers and sisters started dancing while Friedrich and Wanyenyekevu laughed and watched. After everyone had left, Wanyenyekevu was about to go to sleep, and he thought about what Aboksigún had said and got up and wrote, "My son. Someone greater than myself." What or who can that be? Greater than me? Let me say. He would have to be a part of me. He couldn't live in eternity in order for me to say wiser, more knowledgeable, and more understanding. Would be his greatest accomplishment, Someone's in order to be better than me. What or who on earth could that be? My son. That night a storm awoke Wanyenyekevu. The wind was blowing hard, and hail rained down the season of golf balls. Queen got up and closed the windows as lightning struck the ground. It's going to be a bad one. She sighed as she climbed back into bed. Wanyenyekevu sings, it sure sounds like it. As the storm continued the following day and lightning flashed across the skies, Friedrich came by and reported to Wanyenyekevu. It's been raining for a while now on the eastern coastline and in the south. We're just getting the tail end of it. There are reports of flooding from the Gulf. It's almost that time. Luckily, we are on the last caravan to Louisiana. Wanyenyekevu shook his head. We're prepared for battle. Let the barking begin, usisahau. Friedrich shouted, usisahau. They sighed together, never forget. Just as they shouted, they heard, usisahau, from behind them, and it was Jala and Anaya. Good morning. Anaya was surprised, ungefähr, Jahre upp ärlig. Friedrich smiled, had total to your pops, ho are all. They smiled and replied, doing fine. Jala looked at wanyenyekevu, pops, me and Anaya want to make Sura abok sigun. Gets to where he's going, and we beg of you to let us go with him on this journey. Wanyenyekevu was proud and replied, but, of course. You wouldn't have it any other way. They had the skikrafts ready when abok sigun kame outside, struggling with 3 large bags. Jala siged, lil boy, where you think you're going on vacation? Jala and Anaya started going through his things. You need this, not that. Throwing stuff on the ground, abok sigun got upset, looked at his stuff on the ground, and threw them everywhere. I don't enjoy going anywhere with you two, y'all think y'all know everything. Jala sighed, just be quiet, and Here, handing him a pupiena that she hid in her knapsack. Abok sigun smiled, for real. Mine. Jala smiled, yes, her name is Bobo, but you can call her whatever you like. Excited, he carefully put the knapsack around his neck. No, Bobo, it is. Wanyenyekevu stood there saying, farewell, my son, as the 3 rode off to the white station in Ciudad Apodaca. A few hours later, while they waited, a man approached them. We were told that you were arriving soon, and well, these are the few that are left. It's less than 200 children, no elders, and most children are special needs, but they are in no way. Their gifts are some of the most powerful ones. Jala looked around, well, we only need on a battalion for this few, and you guys can break down whatever is needed and prepare your groups to go back home and get some rest. We'll take it from here. They broke their battalion into 8 companies, and the 4 speedsters left as the last chicle headed down the tunnel. Anaya, Jala, and abok sigun, along with Fire and Ike, took the lead. They've made many improvements since we last went. Anaya sighed, and Jala shook her head. I say, and I like it. While resting at Ciudad Caralvo, a little boy approaches Jala and Anaya. I can't find my father's watch. Jala and Anaya look at the child. We don't understand you, abok sigun sighed. What is there to understand? He can't find his father's watch. Abok sigun got up. Here, I'll help you. Where were you the last time you saw it? Jala and Anaya looked at each other and started laughing. Abok sigun looked at them strangely. What's so funny? Anaya sighed, lil boy, you're a polyglot. That's why you don't, we didn't know what your gift because we spoke English when that boy spoke to us, he spoke a different language, and we didn't understand him. You spoke his language back to him, not knowing you were speaking his tongue. Abok sigun sighed, a polyglot. Jala sighed, yeah, I thought you knew everything. Polyglot is a person who speaks or understands many languages, if not all languages because it's a gift from Sabaoth. Abok sigun smiled, as the little boy grabs, come on. I have to find me dad's watch, it was his great-grandfather's. After about 30 minutes, abok sigun had yet to return. The sisters checked on him. There he was, in front of a group of people talking books like Negro Nation and Cultures, or, before the Mayflower, you'll hear the stories of Cuba, a paralyzed king, who ruled Amina, and the Yoruba kingdom, or even the queen of Rwanda, Rosalie Gikanda. Ilike books of courage and strength, the history before, during, and after slavery much more no than. ever. I enjoy reading about greats like Reverend Adie Wiat Ortaki, the Ghanaian king. He led a slave rebellion in Jamaica, and even books like The Life of Josiah Henson, formerly a slave, how a slave helped free 100 slaves even before the Underground Railroad. He couldn't read or write but became a preacher, an author, and even an abolitionist. Did you know that the book Uncle Tom's Cabin was based on his story? But my favorite are stories of bravery like Saraunia Mango, who fought the French in the Battle of Logo, or even Toipurina of the Kumivi tribe. This Native American heroine rallied her people to fight against genocide, colonization, and cultural oppression. Saying his sister, Abok Sigun hesitated for a minute before he continued, I got to go, but let me tell you a little bit about Toipurina. For over 50 years, Jala interrupted, Abok Sigun, I thought you were looking for a watch. Abok Sigun sighed, we found it, and we started talking about different stories and books, and people started joining in. Jala shakes her head, well, tell this story and come on, we gotta get up early in the morning. As she walked away, Anaya asked, why didn't you stop him? Jala sighed to Anaya with a smile on her face. When he throws his hands in the air and starts getting loud, he's about to get started. Anaya laughed as she thought about it. Yeah, you're rigged. As they walked away, they heard Abok Sigun continue his story. 20 missions and about 50 years later, these were not religious caravans trying to win souls, for we did they have the military with them. Padres were living side by side with armed soldiers. These soldiers guarded the mission and helped keep the so-called new converts compliant while converting the local people to Roman Catholicism. They would punish them by whipping or caning them if they found out they were practicing their own spiritual beliefs or sacred customs. There were reports of women being abused, raped, and forced baptized. Like always, they almost decimated the native population, killing thousands of people among the 50 communities in the valley. That doesn't sound like it's about Tome. Abok Sigun got louder, but there was a lady by the name of Toipurina. Toipurina's home was in San Gabriel, and her people, the Kumivit, became known as the Gabrielino. Many reject the cultural assimilation imposed on them. Toipurina was a respected religious leader and medicine woman amongst her people. Through her trading and spiritual guidance, she learned to speak many tongue languages and became a persuasive communicator. She used her skills to rally a force of 6 villages to attack the San Gabriel mission. Nicholas Jos, who was rallying resistance within the mission, and 2 village chiefs planned a combined attack that they hoped would overwhelm the guards of San Gabriel and allow them to kill the Spanish invaders. Toipurina's role in the attack drew on her experience as a medicine woman. She immobilized the priests using her spiritual powers while the warriors eliminated the guards. The warriors approached the mission. Unarmed Toipurina stood by, encouraging them to fight. They scaled the walls of the mission, and the revolt began. The battle was quick. The Spanish soldiers ambushed the attackers. Most warriors, including Toipurina, were captured because a soldier who understood some tongue and overheard people discussing the planned revolt had tipped the missionaries off. Jala was reading a book as Abok Sigun returned and sat down. You all of a sudden sound like pops. How is it you know everything but don't like anything? Scratching his head, that's not so. Ilike history no since I found out him somebody rogue mommy and daddy. Jala sighed, yo were somebody when yo told yo weren't, but no yo no yo somebody because of mommy and daddy. You were crazy, lil boy. You were always somebody and just didn't know it. Abok Sigun was embarrassed and then got mad. You are always fixing me. Always telling me what? Todo. Jala looked at Abok Sigun, all this because he told you were somebody. Lil boy, if you don't get out of me fate, I'll show you way. And what for? Abok Sigun scratched his head and tried to walk away. Anaya stopped Abok Sigun, little brother, your embarrassment of the truth hurts your feelings. One must stay humble at all times. We are the eldest, our job is to correct your mistakes and protect you. I would rather tell you the horrible truth than a sweet lie. Understand that we all have our jobs to do. My enemies are in front of me because I'm our rear. I figured and must know the truth. My truth is simply to kill or be killed. You are a teacher or preacher. Your enemies can walk with you, and you won't even know it. I admire your gift, but don't put mine or anyone else's down. Remember, Pop said we are a body and have our jobs to do. Don't let a little finger be jealous of the thumb. They have to work together to be powerful as a fist. Abok Sigun looked at Jala. I'm sorry, I was embarrassed and ashamed. Jala smiled. It's ok, why, this is your book. Pops told me to give it to you, but he hadn't seen his work in so long. He wanted to reread some of it this last one he wrote for you the night before we left. A lot of Pop's poetry and stuff is in it, and he wrote some powerful words and gives an insight of self, being human, and of course about. Passing him the book, she sighed. God needed, lil boy. Abok Sigun smiled. I'm still tired of both of y'all calling me lil boy. They smiled at him and sighed, God nigged, lil boy. The next morning, the little boy home Abok Sigun helped find his father's watch approached Jala and Anaya, Sani journey with you. Cause Teres no one mi age in mi group. They looked at Abok Sigun with blank stares. He wants to come with us. Abok Sigun sighed. They shook their heads in agreement. As they headed out, the boy started chatting with Abok Sigun. Look what he can do and morphed into different objects. His gift amazed Abok Sigun. Here, turn into Bobo. The little boy looked at Abok Sigun. As long as he touch it or say, he can be it, but not animals. Just objects. After saying his gift, Jala and Anaya couldn't comprehend what the little boy was saying. But saw his gifts, his God for his age. Anaya asked Abok Sigun, what is your little friend's name? Abok Sigun said, I don't know. Anaya said, even as strangers, you always introduce yourself. No, ask him his name. Abok Sigun asked him his name, and he said, oh, I'm sorry, my name is Dung, it's Vietnamese, spelled un but pronounced Jung, and it means courageous. Abok Sigun turned to Anaya with an attitude. Dung. Anaya shook her head. You better change your attitude. That's why we call you lil boy. You need to learn etiquette and how to communicate because he spoke for at least 3 seconds, and we know on a word didn't come out of his mouth. Jala held Anaya back. Look, everyone has the potential to be a friend unless they show otherwise, and your problem is you have always been around family, uhich alos yo utobe uho yo are. Still, you must be friendly to people who are not your friend or family or don't know. Yo. Abok sigun side. His name is Dung, but it's pronounced Jung, hes Vietnamese. Jalas miled, you have a lot to learn, lil boy. Frustrated, Abok sigun grabbed Dung's hands, let's walk behind them, they are getting on me nervous. I don't want to say them. Dung sighed, then we should walk in front of them. Because the sisters didn't understand what they were saying, he continued his conversation with Dung. I'm not even the youngest, they are always treating me like a baby. Dung looked at Abok Sigun and sighed, it's only me. I wish he had brothers and sisters. The mother and father were Muslim at first, then he started worshipping Sabaoth. What is the difference? My father sides about changed their lives, but my parents are much younger than yours. I'm walking with our neighbor's parents because they are warriors for Sabaoth. Abok Sigun then said to Dung, what's the difference between the oldest religions Hinduism, Zoroastrianism, Judaism, Jainism, Confucianism, Buddhism, Taoism, and Shintoism? Zoroastrianism and Judaism are similar to Muslims and Christianity. You say, both of them are no in the Torah, but they used to be two separate books, the Quran and the Bible. Abraham in one, Abraham in the other. Both had the same son, Isaac. Isaac and Rebekah had twins Jacob and Esau, who were given the same promise. The Torah said that Sabaoth told Rebekah that she was carrying two nations in her body. He stopped and grabbed his Torah out of his backpack. You say, rigged here, two tribes that are now inside you will be separated. One nation will be stronger than the other. The older son will serve the younger one. He closed the Torah. Later on he promised both of them they would have a lot of people like the sand. Please read it for yourself. Christianity and the Muslim grew and grew over the centuries and became many sects with different rulers. Many deceived them and started pimping Sabaoth's people to believe lies for money and sex. Dung had a strange look on his face, pimping. Abok Sigun sighed. That's when Someone manipulates Someone to get whatever they want, usually money or sex. Dung sighed. Sex. That's nasty. Abok Sigun shook his head and sighed, how old are you again? Dung sighed. 10. Abok Sigun shakes his head and grabs Dung with a hand, come on, let's catch up. A few weeks later, in Tucson, Mwanangu is at his home in the office when he hears a voice in his earpiece. Mwanangu, come in, it was Obe. Come in, Mwanangu replied. Obe calmly sighed. You need to say this. Mwanangu jumped on his ski-craft and headed toward Obe's location at the watchtower. He talked about Abok Sigun and called Jala and Anaya on his way to say Obe, Jala, Anaya, come in. No answer, so he called again. Jala, Anaya. Come in. He repeated. This is Eto. It's been a week or two. Jala and Anaya cannot be reached because they are in a dead zone below, and communication is not transmitted or retrieved in these areas. They should be near or in Louisiana below and should be available within the next 24 to 48 hours. They dismissed everyone, and just a handful of us are here wrapping a few things up. Mwanangu responded 10-4. As soon as he arrived at the watchtower, Obe was outside talking with a few men. He had to set himself and approached wanyenyekevu. I believe things are getting started. Follow me. Walking up a couple of flights of stairs to the top of the tower was a radar system. This is Droba. Wanyenyekevu shook the man's hand and smiled as Obe continued. Droba has seen a group of clusters forming both in Phoenix and El Paso. But what I wanted to show you is this. Wanyenyekevu saw nothing, Obe sighed. Just wait a few minutes, y sometimes comes in and out. A group of small clusters appeared on the screen and quickly disappeared. Obe sighed, they are using some kind of cloaking device, but someone or something is causing the cloak to fail because it is fading in and out. One of Obe's warriors ran in. Here it goes. The woman sighed as she ran somewhere to the monitor and took a few minutes typing on a computer. Obe introduced the woman as Apana. Apana took 15 minutes before she said, "Here is an aerial view." She zoomed in and looked. There was a band of soldiers. Obed continued. At first, we thought nothing about it, but after a few hours, we noted their direction was toward Jala and Anaya's location. Apana zooms in. Etsuseme, am I the only one who says this? Wanyenyekevu looked at Apana. Ise mentesize of ants. Apana, enlightened with the ability to see at great distances, sighed. Yes, but hundreds of thousands of elms and demons are with them. Wanyenyekevu asked. How long will it take them to catch up to them? Apana scratched her head. At their rate of speed 24 hours or so. Wanyenyekevu remembered what Eto had said and shouted. Jala andal. As he ran to his skicraft. As the skicraft lifted in the air, Wanyenyekevu opened all the channels. Prepare for total lockdown and my battalion, drop everything, and meet me in Louisiana as soon as possible. Wanyenyekevu realized that all communication had been blocked somehow, so he continuously radioed ahead to each location until he got a signal. This is Wanyenyekevu. Does anyone copy? He heard a voice that went in and out. This is Emmanuel. I'm here in Lautel, Louisiana. Go ahead. Wanyenyekevu paused. Are Jala and Anyatere. Emmanuel sighed. No, we estimated they should be at or just past Betan Island. Wanyenyekevu had just passed the Rio Grande and lost the signal. Turning back around a few miles until he got back in touch with Emmanuel. Emmanuel. Come in. Emmanuel finally responded. We lost connection for a bit, but I hear you loud and clear now, Wanyenyekevu replied. Our signal is being jammed, and a large group is headed your way. The signal is being jammed from the Rio Grande to somewhere near your location. My battalion is on its way, and I will give them the details, but I need you to contact Annie. No. All groups after you to prepare for battle, minus the group in the entrance at the truck stop in Tallulah. They are to stay. We don't know what the enemy knows. He thought about it for a while because Wanyenyekevu wasn't sure if he was speaking to a member or not, so he said. Usisahau. Emmanuel sighed. Never forget, he said to Emmanuel. For this mission, everyone must reply usisahau, and the response should be accordingly, for the enemy is coming, and they have followed us once already. Unaware of the situation, Jala and Anya were miles past Pekan Island on Higuai themanini and were about 5 miles away from crossing the old bridge between Huitelake and Vermilion Bay. They gathered all the units at the rest stops because they would combine as one unit once they reached Tallulah and head home together. Anaya led ahead to tell the troops to get ready and pack up because they would be there within a day, but there was no answer, and she tried to call Jala and tell her of the problem because she was ahead of the group, but all she heard was static. Anaya shouted, "Stop! Something is wrong. Everyone, check your equipment." Everyone noticed that their radio didn't work either. A young man approached. "Not only is my radio not working, but my tracking device is also off." Jala took a moment to think. "Hurry to the bridge. It's going to take a long time for all of us to get across instead of one at a time. We will have to wait until the person in front of us gets at least 10 to 15 feet to the end of the bridge where it's the strongest." Jala called for all the speedsters. There were 13, go search the area in all directions to at a time and see if something is going on and meet us on the other side. Yote, stay here just in case we need you to cross the bridge. The speedsters left, headed in all directions, then Jala shouted to the crowd, "Let's go. Double time." Jala led as Anaya covered the rear. Peeling on ski crafts and hoverboards, they raced to the other side of the bridge. Dropping off individuals and returning to get the rest, some speedsters returned on the Everyone made it to the other side with nothing to report, going as far as 50 miles. But two still needed to show up. Jamal and Eddie, who were headed northwest, have gone to radio silence on a speedster side. Jala and Anaya lie explosives across the bridge but waited for the rest of the speedsters to return. Uncertain what to do until the last remaining speedster returned. After an hour, Jamal and Eddie returned. Jamal reported, "There are hundreds of men and thousands of hideous minions and demons trailing them. They are trailing behind us." Eddie politely interrupted, saying the pack was split up. "Some are a few miles north of us and heading to Lautel." Abok-Sigun's new friend kept asking him what was being said. Abok-Sigun interpreted for a bit until he got frustrated trying to interpret and listen to the men simultaneously. "Demons are coming after us. Big ones, little ones, all of them imperial, aerial, subterranean, lucifugos, aqueous, and terrene. They are all coming to kill us. No, shut up." Anaya didn't understand what he said, but got mad at how Abok-Sigun was talking to the little boy. Dung started crying out of fear and ran back across the bridge. "You want to go home?" Anaya shouted at Abok-Sigun. "What did you say to him?" Abok-Sigun shouted back. "I told him that the imperial, aerial, subterranean, lucifugos, aqueous, and terrene were all trying to kill us." Anaya got upset and grabbed him by the ear. "Little boy, you have to be compassionate and considerate when you talk to people or even explain things. Understand this, and listen carefully because I will only say it this time and never again. Because of Pops, we are well versed in history and spiritual things that many don't understand yet, but when you tell someone else, tell them in a manner that they understand, and sometimes you have to give them some background info to explain your point. Treat them like babies like the Torah tells us. You can't give them meat, you must start first with milk. Now, go get him and apologize to him, and no. Jala was unaware of what was happening because she was busy figuring out what to do next as she spoke to the warriors. Stumping across the bridge with Bobo, Abok Sigun ran and grabbed Dung, but Dung was pulling away from him, crying, "I want to go home." Abok Sigun shouted at Dung, "Listen, I was mad at you, cause I was trying to hear, and I shouldn't have yelled at you, but Sabaoth will protect us. We're not to fear demons, but Sabaoth, who created the demons as he created us, so he will destroy the demons and protect us. We are greater and better than them, that's why they fear us." Anaya stood at the foot of the bridge, looking at Abok Sigun and Dung, when a tall stranger appeared out of nowhere, and then she heard a shout. "Stand clear. The bridge will blow in 10 minutes." Anaya shouted, "No. Abok Sigun is on the bridge." Saying the tall man, she asks Yael. Yael nods, and remembering what her father said, Anaya says a speedster about to go after Abok Sigun, but she grabs the speedster before he can take off, saying, "He'll be all rigged, he has another journey." Abok Sigun finally hears the man behind him as he turns around, and the man holds up his hand. "Stop." As the man spoke, the bridge in front of him fell into the water. Abok Sigun said to the stranger, "Yael." Yael nodded his head. Abok Sigun said to Yael, "If you are here to protect me, who is protecting me father?" Yael said to Abok Sigun, "Your father can handle himself, and now it's your turn to start your journey for Sabbath." Just as Yael spoke again, the bridge fell off, underneath his feet, into the lake. Abok Sigun shouted to Dung, "Hold on," holding onto the railing, and Bobo, they plummeted into the lake. With the help of Yael, they grabbed a piece of driftwood that rushed them downstream. Abok Sigun was passed out as Dung tried to wake him as they floated downstream. Abok Sigun, covered in darkness, sees in a vision a large stadium, and as he walks towards it, he sees a crowd walking inside. The closer he walked toward the stadium, the more people closed in on him. Shoulder to shoulder, he could barely walk any farther. He says Friedrich in the front on the stage, speaking, "I am a firm believer that the signs of the sudden evacuation of the children of God is approaching. Our world is descending to madness and evil in preparation for the rise of the kingdom of the beast, the last Babylon. That is why the power has been so great among God's true people. It is to prepare us. Not all will be taken because not all have sold out. Far too many are tied to this world system and have laid down their armor of faith and put on the shawl of this world and are loyal to it more than to God. Some will have to endure the coming tribulation. Those who are prepared will not. Lastly, ask God to fix that thing that which stands between us and our liberation and deliverance and blessings. Last night, he admonished that for him to fix that thing, we had to first let go of it. It can be hard to let go of what we have held to for so long. We often fear the spot that letting go will leave behind. We fear fighting the unfamiliar or the sense of being alone in the absence of what was there for so long. But God said, "Behold, I create a new thing." But to do that, we must let go of the old to create that spot he can feel. Have you ever wondered how the Roman barbarians could rise to power and strip from us the glories of being African kings and queens, and establish a kingdom of Iran on top of fields of gold? Have you ever wondered how a man of piety whose message of hope and love has saved and changed the lives and souls of millions long after his death could be publicly tortured and murdered on a cross because he came to save? If you ever wondered how this man's followers and their families could later be rounded up and publicly slaughtered while thousands watched from stadium seats in theaters of blood? If you have ever wondered how millions of indigenous people living in peace in their own lands could be invaded without warning, uprooted, and subjected to genocide, and their lands taken, while simultaneously, hundreds of millions more of their black kin uprooted from their motherland, mass enslaved and shuttled around the world to build nations headed because who believed they had no rights worth respecting, their bodies playgrounds for global atrocities that were unimaginable. It took centuries for them to get free. If you ever wondered how one man could rise to power, in one nation while the world sat idle, slaughtering millions while shuttling them on death trains to camps of terror and chambers of horror. If you ever wondered how the hell could rain from a heavenly sky and sedition's flames erupt from below in worldwide conflagration destroying earth and millions of destinies. Or how freedom is dimmed in the light of liberty, and thunderous silence can drown voices out. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you a party. Its weapons of mass indifference cost more lives than iron or steel. Atimeles, invisible were fogged besideline soldiers on bloodless, gutless fields of passivity. Those for whom the cost of doing nothing is worth the price of the freedom to not ask for the cause of self. The result of which is the sacrifice of the many for the benefit of a few who give up nothing to gain everything. Friedrich continued as a boxing tried to reach him, pushing forcibly toward the stage. It got harder and harder to reach Friedrich. It came to a point where he couldn't go any further. A boxing shouted, "Friedrich!" Louder and louder. When the crowd disappeared, Friedrich was there by himself. Friedrich grabbed a boxing by the hand, look, pointing at Daniel, or what appeared to be Daniel. He was much younger, and there was a light behind him. A very dim light grew larger and shone brightly as Daniel aged. Daniel approached a boxing years he sat back and learned the way of Sabbath. Yes, he made mistakes but kept the path. Now listen to what Eve learned, of those who hear, few will believe. Of those who believe, few will act. Of those few who believe and act, they will always be opposed by those who neither believe nor act. Daniel paused and then spoke with authority. Thus says the Lord of hosts, I will bless those who have been faithful and prepare a plate of safety for them in the coming days of tribulation. I will also send great judgment on the wicked, the faithless, and the rebellious who have prevailed themselves. Rulers and occupants, for too long of this planet. I will pass through the earth like a fire through a forest. Daniel falls to the ground. As he is falling, he grabs Friedrich and speaks in an unknown tongue. I would put my fist through the earth and stir as if in a pot. The kingdoms of men will fall, and their plate of security will be unsettled. Earth will rail and rock like a drunkard and become unstable as all the systems that man has set up as a throne unto himself will be shaken, and many will fall, never to rise again. They have set themselves up as gods and denied me, the throne of heaven, who is their creator. They slandered and defamed my name and that of the messengers I sent to warn them, and they have chosen other gods in denial of me. Therefore their choices will be honored. We will see who can deliver them out of my hand. They have dealt unjustly with my people whom I have sent to them and who serve me. And this will be avenged by my hand. I told you that he was coming. They thought they were challenging you, my servants, but it was me they were challenging. And I will soon give them the chance to confront me. We will see who God is. War is coming. And more pestilente. The peate men have enjoyed will be taken from the earth. B. Sure you know God as you think you do be sure it is not pride and arrogance you hide behind because all will be revealed and uncovered in the days ahead. As you have heard me repeated say, these are the last days of the reign of men on earth. Friedrich and Daniel shouted at Abok-Sigun, go and do his bidding usisahau, and Abok-Sigun replied, I will not forget. Just then, Abok-Sigun woke up out of his vision as he and Dung lay on the shoreline, he raised his head. Seeing Yael sitting down with his legs crossed, Abok-Sigun sighed, if that's the kind of help you're going to give, I'm not sure if I need it. With a blank smile, Yael sighed. I protect you from death, not pain, but keep that sarcasm, cause that's the kind of sarcasm you'll need where you're going. Just remember this day will always try to divide. Abok-Sigun looked at Yael and sighed, where am I going? Yael replied, the other side of nowhere.